Hello everybody, I hope you're doing good. Sorry for posting the subject this late. We are expecting, as I said in my post in the community, we are in a big stretch of bad weather. It started yesterday, at least yesterday we mostly had some rain. Excuse me. But it's supposed to go at least till Friday, and I didn't know when if the forecast would change, if I would be able to have the live at the regular time, but apparently I was. So, alrighty. So let's go ahead and do. I know that there's been a lot of switch plates stuff going on, and I thought of trying something a little bit more different. And with that, I have here some scrap clay. I'm going to use some color shift. You can also use the interference mica powders if you so wish. And I would suggest to you using perfect pearls in whatever color you want. Even if you use art alchemy wax, I would still advise you to varnish whatever you're doing, because switch plates get a lot of rubbing on, and if you don't varnish to protect whatever you put on it, it's going to be nasty. Okay, so my suggestion also is to use an embossing thing that would have a wider pattern, and I'm talking about embossing because it is pretty deep, and what you need is a wider pattern, with the lines not being so close to each other. Okay, that is quite important. And I'm going to first place some Armor All on this. I hope I'll be able to do it properly, because if I mess up and I have to redo it, I apologize in advance. Hi Lane, thank you for making it. Because with the whole low fronts that we have here, yeah, my pain level is quite high, but I didn't want to, because last Sunday we did not have a live because of Easter, and I didn't want to miss it again. And I didn't manage to tell you all, I have my diabetes medication. My doctor again changed the dose, because I forgot to tell you all about that, because it was before Easter and all that, and you know, I'm getting older, so I forget. But anyway, I'm again in that 4 to 6 weeks of getting used to the new dose. So it's making me tired and sleepy and all that. So there. So I'm going to use, as you saw, I put Armor All on the side that goes towards the embossing folder, and you want to go on the one that's got the pattern, the etching inside, not this one has got it outside, so that would leave dips in the clay. You want the one that would leave the pattern raised in the clay. So you want to go with the one that's got it inside. And let's hope I do a good job here. We'll see here in a minute how I'm doing. As I said, if I mess up, apologies, I'll do it again. I'll try it again. Okay. I guess I didn't do that bad of a job. Could have been more. Yeah, this part is not deep enough. I'll have to redo it. I'm sorry. Let me see. I'm good. I need to give it a little bit of... I should think from now on to start doing this before I start the live, you know? So I don't keep you so long until I manage to do something like this when I'm in pain. Okay. Let's do that again. I might have to stand up. So again, looking for the one that's got... And you need to put something in between. That's why I'm putting the wax paper, because otherwise the clay will stick to your roller and will lift as you go. Hi, Sharon. So let me hope that I'm doing it right this time. And my left hand is much weaker than the right, so this is why I'm doing messes. But this time I did it better. Okay. Now, before doing anything else, I'm going to start and choose at least 2 colors, okay, of the color shift. Hi, Colleen. And that is valid also for the interference powder. After I do this, I will just do a little piece to show you how to work on the interference powder, okay? Just to... Alrighty. I just made sure that my my armor all is off. Okay, now we want to do pretty much a wash of the color shift. So I have here some red and some blue and some purple and some yellow. And you always need to shake it real good. Shake it, baby. You know. Hi, Kalyana. How's it going? Okay. But on the other hand, I did have very good news from my doctor. I mean, my A1C was at the lower range of pre-diabetic. So what you want to do is give it a nice wash. So my doctor is very confident that with the new dosage, I should be within normal range. She said that I could even stay in this range, but it's safer for my kidneys to bring my blood sugar in normal range, especially because it seems that I have what's called a dawn phenomenon. That means my blood sugar is highest in the morning after I wake up. So my fasting sugar is the highest of all. Okay, so now I'm going to dry up my brush. As what you're trying to do is to just leave a very soft film of this very, very soft. So at least with that, I should be within 2 months not have any more issues. Well, except for the hypothyroidism, but hopefully because my only thing, I mean, I'm on Ozempic and I'm not losing weight, and she said that it's a common thing to happen with people who are hypothyroid, because it's like two things going towards against weight loss, both the diabetes and the thyroid. So she has faith that once my diabetes is under control, I will start losing weight. It would be much easier if I were still on pain management, but as you know, I gave up on that back in 21, and I don't want to get into that again. Okay, so I did the yellow. I'm going to do a little bit of the green flash. So this is just a plain watercolor brush. You can find the brushes I recommend on my Amazon influencer store, and I think they are in the applicators. Okay, this should be good. And why I'm using this, because why I'm using the color shift, because it gives, as you know, it gives a little bit of iridescence. Now, if you have any kind of iridescent, I'm not talking about for holographic, I'm talking about iridescent paint, watercolor paint, you can use that. So your most important part is to get the color in between the raised parts. I'm going to actually wipe the raised parts, because you don't want and you're gonna cover them anyway with a mica powder. And let's do a little bit of blue. Color shift paint, yeah. You don't have to put Kanchan out every message. We now know it's you. Okay, so a little bit of purple. I'm gonna give it even more green at one point. Yeah, I wish I had some of that iridescent watercolor, but I do not. And I cannot afford right now to get any, because as you know, I spent my property tax money on Connor last year, So now I have to pay back on my credit card. Yeah, full card. It is really good. It's a very awesome paint. I love it. You can make so many things with it. I'm actually trying to figure out if I can do a specific type of resin technique for the switch plates. And you want to pretty much blend them one into each other. And again, I'm wiping the top. But in any case, you do not want solid color. And can't you change it? Because I thought you can go and change it. You go in your account. Yeah, that works too, but no, what you'll see, because I should be posting it soon. I have just one more thing to figure out how to do, and then I should be able to post it. So I'm just going in between some of these. And this is too strong. And you can also do one on top of the other. You just have to be very patient and make sure that the coat on the bottom is perfectly dried out. Okay, now I'm sure that I got all of this out of the way. Let me get my water out of the way. And then simply, now you should be able to remove this from the, because this is metal, and you can find these in my Amazon influencer store. They're in the baking blanks. Because this is metal, you should be able to remove it after it's baked. But if you want to put it without the backing, then you'll have to make it a little bit thicker, because just one, even if it's the thickest setting, it's going to be a little bit too thin to put it directly on the wall. Okay, so yeah, I am pretty much good. Making sure that I got all the raised parts wiped out, and I'm going to put this on but I need first to wait for the paint to get. And by the way, in the meantime, I said I was going to show you how to do the iridescent thing, so let me just grab the extra here. And you'll see it really gives good the interference mica powder actually works a little bit even better than the color shift, but it all depends on what you want. What's your final wish? So, and as I said, you can use the mica powder. I prefer the perfect pearls, but you can use the regular mica powder. Only that, remember that you need to seal it. So just a little blip. And we have a very high allergy index here. So if you hear me doing all kinds of and little cups, that's why. Because everything we had, the spring came about a month earlier. So everything is in full bloom all at once. And my irises are in bloom ahead of time. My spirea is in bloom. My mock orange is in bloom. It's everything is. Even the peonies have buds. Okay, just a second. Okay, so I do not have the green. Making sure that everything that I got is in. No, this one is not interference. This one is. This one is. This one definitely is. And this one is too. Okay, so what you want to do is to get a little bit of each. Usually keep them lid down. So what we are trying to do is to make an iridescence effect. That's why I am and make sure that you wipe the paintbrush in between. This one's done. And wiping again the raised parts. And yes, you want to go one on top of the other. After all, we are trying to do a specific thing here. And again, wipe. I'm going to finish wiping when I'm completely done. And this is, I don't think this is, no, this is not interference. Let me get the gold. No, this is the violet. I think I didn't get the gold, but I'm not going to get up and try and find it. Yeah, I know it looks like a lot, doesn't it? But I'm going to come back on it. And I really need to get me some green in this palette. So what I have here is blue, violet, and red interference, all interference. Some more of the red. And again, don't worry about putting them one on top of the other, because that's how we are going to get the iridescence. But I couldn't find the gold. Okay, now once I'm done with this, I'm going to take it away and blow on it. And then grab a little bit of a paper towel and get some alcohol on it, and then very gently wipe so that my raised parts do not have any of that. And I will put maybe a little bit of resin on it so I can see how it looks like when it's done. If you give me a minute here. Oh, I have one here. Never mind. So after you fix it on your switch plate, that's when you put the wax, or the wax you can put it after it's baked. But your golden or copper, or I suggest golden mica powder, and make sure that you only go on not like what I'm doing right now. So just give you the best thing. Let me use wax because my hands don't seem to be the best right now. So let's go with the aged brass. But once you're going to put the sealer on it, it's going to be much better. It still has quite a bit of powder on it. Let me wipe it again. This time using my finger. But again, if you're using wax, you can do it after you bake it. But the thing is that you want your raised areas to be clean, because otherwise the stuff won't. Yeah, I guess I cannot really do it. Oh goodness, I really suck today. I'm going to do it on the other one. Let me try again with the, I'm going to get a little bit in the, I know, in the in-betweens, because I don't feel very well. I could try a thin paintbrush, but and if you're going to ask me why don't you just use gold so that you'll have the raised parts gold anyway, is because the gold is not very conducive to the iridescence effect. Trust me, I tried it. But doing it kind of sort of like this works better. Okay, this should be enough to show you the whole effect. I'm going to give it a little bit of resin on a spot here so you can see how it looks like when it's shiny, because it's going to be the same thing. It's just that the resin is much easier to cure. Now, if you have that iridescent watercolor, you can go ahead and use that to start with and skip the color shift and the interference mica. Just go ahead with that. Okay, this should be good. Let me get it to harden. And now I know that I made a few tutorials before about how to cover a switch plate, but that doesn't really matter because I'm not going to make you go back and look for them. One thing that you need to be very careful about is to make sure that your clay is well against the switch plate, and it has to be, hey, stay there, has to be flush, perfectly flush. So use your roller very gently to get it flush against the switch plate. And I know that these the switch plates I have are just the plain one button. You can find them in many variants for whatever you have in your house. Just as a piece of advice, I know Amazon is way more convenient, but to be very honest, they are much cheaper at your local store than on Amazon. Before it wasn't like that, but now it is for some reason. The same as I discovered that, and this is really, pardon my French, so to speak, this is a real BS, but stores like Walmart and stuff, they are starting to track your thing, and you get a different price when you go online and you're not in the store. Usually the price in store is higher. Probably they want to, I mean, it's the same, pretty much the same thing, because you're still going to have to need personnel to shop and to deliver and to everything, but you know, even if you log off, your phone is going to still ping. I mean, when you're searching for stuff, and you'll notice that if you are like half a mile from the store, the price might be 1, and once you get in the store, the price changes. Try it. I couldn't believe, I read this on Reddit, posted by somebody. I didn't believe it, and then I tried it. Amazingly, not at the local Walmart market, but at the Walmart superstore. That happened. Okay, I need my. So very careful here. You want to just do a little bit so you can get on the other side. And then come here, make sure that you got it on the other side. If you didn't, and be very careful when you cut so you don't cut yourself. But you need to make a poke all the way to the other side. So that way you'll see where to cut. At least one poke. Once you make one, the rest is easy. And the other thing that you need to do is to grab maybe the back of a paintbrush or something, and you do this. Until your sides here look pretty. And then obviously we need a poke here, and we need a poke here, and then we need a pencil. Just make sure that you make the hole here properly. So that the screws will go properly through it. And then all you need to do is, if you use the mica powder, you can place it before. You can also use acrylic, metallic acrylic. And if you use the, actually I don't have powder here. If you use the wax, you can place it before, but remember, even if you use the wax, you will still need to seal because of rubbing hands on this. And it all depends on what you find. That's why I was saying that it's not a good idea to use silk screens, because you need to put a ton of sealant. Because silk screens, by definition, are very finicky. And you might find yourself after a few months with no pattern on. But even if you use the simple foam metal thing, it's still a good idea to varnish it to protect it. Okay, so this would be the regular thing. I can clean my middle finger. And again, for people who are new, I'm using my middle finger not to flip anybody off, but my index finger have on both hands, I have nerve damage and I don't feel much with it, so it has nothing to do with flipping anybody. Okay, so this would be the regular color paint, which will look even prettier once you varnish it, because as we know, as with the resin, once you make it all shiny, it's going to look so much better. And the one with the iridescent interference mica powders, also it's changing color a little bit, as you can see. But if you have that iridescent watercolor, go ahead and oh yeah, absolutely. And you need to get screws if you intend to use this without the metal one underneath. Make sure that you go get yourself some screws. The metal ones, they come with the screws, okay? But if you're going to use the same metal backing, if you have several switch plates that you want to replace, make sure that you go and get yourself the screws, because otherwise, if it's not the exact same, but you can keep the screws of the old ones. It depends. Usually they are fairly universal, but again, this is an idea of how to make more unusual stuff. Of course, you can cover them with moku megane, you can cover them with foam metal, you can cover them with whatchamacallit, canes. I'm getting the parameter, it must be going really low. You can put, if you want to put all kinds of molds, like for a child's room, you want to put little molds, go ahead. Just make sure that the molds are compact. Do not put flowers that have petals. Do not put stuff like that, because again, this is something that's going to be touched all the time. And if you make pretty flowers with petals and things, they're gonna fall off. And it's going to look like not good. Anyway, so this is a short thingy, and I'm checking. And yes, the barometer started dropping. But I can feel it in my bones. And not just. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it and you'll try some of this. I'll try and find, if I can find on Amazon, that watercolor, that iridescent watercolor. Do not use holographic powder. That is not something that will be good. But yeah. But they will still fit. And as I said, if you want to not use bake and then remove it and just use the polymer clay one without the backing on, make sure that you put two thickest, on the thickest setting on your pastel machine, put two of them one on top of the other, because otherwise it's going to be fairly flimsy and kind of bow when you put your hand and start doing this, and you don't want it to break. So once again, I hope you liked it, and I hope to be more soon, more online and more creative and more everything, because this is getting ridiculous. Thank you so much and have a wonderful week, and don't forget to like. Thank you. Bye.